Who do you got in last place?
My last place is Jared Leto.
Yeah, mine too. No
Yep.
surprises there.
No, I mean, again, this is not the Joker.
Yeah.
Just like Joaquin Phoenix. Joaquin Phoenix did a great job
Yeah.
as a performance and as an actor.
Yeah.
Jared Leto did not play the Joker. He's playing a gangster who has heard of the Joker, basically. And it's not, I don't like watching him. He's not
Yeah.
funny. He's not interesting. It's not the Joker.
Yeah, even knowing that like the movie doesn't give him a lot to do, I just don't.
Yeah.
I'm not even really that curious to be like, well, what would a movie look like with that? It's just sort of like,
Yeah.
nah, it's a swing and a miss. They tried to do something different to really stand out from the Ledger interpretation, and I just think that it doesn't land. It feels like a complete misunderstanding of everything that makes the character what it is. And yeah, I don't think that's any a surprise. And I think it's partially on David Ayer and whoever he collaborated with to do the character design. And it's partially on Leto for not trying to find a way to make his scenes pop. Who do you got at in the next spot?
All right, number 6. I have Joaquin Phoenix.
Wow, that low.
Wow.
This
is purely because, again, this is not really the Joker that I want to watch. And again, this is nothing about his performance. His performance is amazing. He deserved the Oscar because it was really, really good acting. But this is not, again, this is not the Joker. Just like Jared Leto is not the Joker that I see and know, this is also not the Joker that I see and know. If it was performance-based, I would have had him second. But because we're doing it on the Joker, it's not really who I see.
It's so hard to try to imagine Arthur Fleck becoming that guy. It's so hard to try to imagine becoming like a mastermind, like a criminal mastermind. It's hard to imagine him like commanding, gangs of henchmen. And it's just hard but that's why I think the movie is so frustrating, because it's like, you could have gotten there to a point where we go, I can see this guy doing it. And that to see that journey, I think would have been really narratively and cinematically satisfying. Joaquin is low on my list. He's not that low. Okay. My 6th spot goes to Galifianakis, just because I just don't think there's anything really there. I just am like, at least it's like the character design and the way that it's written is the Joker, unlike Jared Leto's Joker. But as far as Galifianakis's performance, it's just there's nothing there for me. It's not even a particularly funny performance. Like Will Arnett and Michael Cera are the comic relief of the movie. So
no, totally fair. I probably have him higher than I probably should, but I'll give the reason for that.
So where do you who's next? Who's your 5
spot? All right, so number 5, I have Cesar Romero.
Okay.
Mainly because he is very iconic, but in that movie he doesn't do much, and he is very funny, but the movie is just so. I feel like he has inspired many people. He started it off, but it's so campy and so over the top that it's just kind of like, all right, like, that's great. You did a lot of great things. Everybody was inspired by you, but I don't know.
My 5 is the same, Cesar Romero, and it's it's no knock to the great Cesar Romero. It's just he's sort of limited by the kind of movie that he's in. He can only do what he can do inside of that movie, and what he does is fun and it's serviceable and it's very Joker in some fun ways. But it's not like a thing where I'm like, wow, that was a hell of like that's one of the great performances. So that's where I put Cesar Romero. How about number 4?
Number 4, this is probably too high. I put Zach Galifianakis, and it's not as much his performance as the fact that he is very, very much tied to Batman. I like that connection that they share.
You like his story function.
Yes.
In the way that,
And he does enough to make, and he pushes Batman, right? Like he's pushing him. And then the fact that the Phantom Zone, like, this is definitely a jokey Joker, right?
Sure.
But like, he gets all of those crazy characters from all the other Warner Brothers movies and like puts them to work for him. I find it very funny in the fact that this plan is very creative. And he connects to Batman and pushes him to recognize his faults. So it like you said, it's more of a story function that I liked his movie and what he did for the character.
Well, you're right, because Joker, like Batman he's like the superhero without any superpowers who
Yes.
manages to like have pull with the
Yeah.
Justice League, and then
Yeah.
he commands respect. And Joker, similarly, in this movie, is like he's the only one without actual powers, but he's commanding like Voldemort and Sauron and King Kong, and that's fun. That's a
Yeah.
that's a fun kind of
Yes.
mirror to the
Yeah.
Batman character. Okay, I think no surprise there. It just sounds like you and I swapped Phoenix and Galifianakis. So
We did,
at
yeah.
number 4, I've got Phoenix, and I completely agree with why you put Phoenix so low. It's just that, like, I never quite get to see the Joker character.
Yeah.
I do love the Joker aesthetic in this movie. I love the suit. I love
Yes.
when he's actually dressed as Joker in the movie. I love the way he looks, and that's why my favorite little moment there is him dancing down the stairs, because I'm like, at least
Totally agree. Yeah.
this feels like it could become the guy. I think that the movie doesn't quite stick the landing, but I gotta at least put him at a reasonable place just for the strength of his performance, even if that performance never quite feels like it's the Joker. But
I think that's totally fair.
yeah, but the performance that he gives in this movie is it's one of his the strongest in a very, very strong career.
Yes.
And so
Yes.
he deserves to
think
be
that's
recognized
totally fair.
for that in my mind. 3
Yep.
spot, who you got?
Mark
I bet
Hamill. Are we the same?
We are not the same. We're not the same. You got Mark Hamill.
Okay.
I got Jack Nicholson. You tell me why Mark Hamill at 3.
I have Mark Hamill at 3 because I mean I grew up with him, so again his TV show informed me. But his performance in Mask of the Phantasm is awesome. His voice, his laugh, the way that he does push Batman, right? I mean, I guess his connection to Batman in Mask of the Phantasm is more thin than probably some of these other ones. But his whole character from the TV show is very connected to Batman.
Mm-hmm.
And that there's a history there anyway. So that's there, but not in the movie itself. But I always want to watch him, and every time he's on, his voice, his laugh is probably the first Joker that I think of in
Mm-hmm.
many ways, just because of how nostalgic it is.
Yeah.
And he does a great performance, especially in this movie when he kills Salvatore Valestro or whatever. That totally hit me hard on this one, just with how brilliant that whole scene was, and like
Yeah.
everything that he does from that point on is like, wow, this is like kind of everything. He's unpredictable. He's awesome.
Terrifying.
Yeah, he's terrifying. Yeah, and he's funny.
Yeah. So at my 3 spot, I got Jack Nicholson,
Okay.
classic, iconic. He knocks it out of the park in this movie. For me, it really does come down to what I was saying when we were breaking it down, that it's just like this thing of because the movie really takes me on the journey of him going from being Jack Napier to the Joker, and it happens in such a short time window. It's that to me actually takes away from my ability to enjoy the character in the movie, because I just have to go like, boy, I think I'd like this character a lot more if I wasn't constantly going like, how did he do all this in like a week? Like he completely built this like criminal empire in such a short window.
Yeah.
But I do really like the performance. I think he's very funny. I love my balloons. Those are my balloons. Great,
Why did somebody tell me he had one of those things?
Yeah. Where does he get these great toys?
Yeah.
He's great in the movie.
Yes.
Fantastic performance. We go to number 2. Obviously, you and me switched Hamill for Nicholson. The reason why I'm going Hamill at number 2 is I find Hamill and Nicholson to be very similar.
Yes.
The Hamill character to me gets the edge because of that. The exactly what you were just saying, like that little like spree that he goes on in the last half of this movie, where he kills Salvatore Valestro, where he gives the toxin to that guy, and the way that guy like it's more about like what he does to his victims, and the way that he behaves in his fights with Batman and with the Phantasm, where he's just like so unhinged, and he's such a wild card. He's such an absolute like unhinged loose like he's terrifying to me, and one of the scariest iterations, and so I give him the slight edge.
Yeah.
over over Nicholson for that.
Yeah, I think Nicholson, that doesn't his for me, his seeing how he became the Joker, I'm more accepting of that. And maybe it's because of the imagery. Like I love seeing, you see he ricochets off the bullet, ricochets off and all the glass goes
Yeah.
on his face and you see it just for a second and then you see him fall into the vat, which is very comic accurate.
Yeah, I know that in
And
the comics, like, he was, like, put in a vat of and
yeah,
yeah.
and so I don't know. I mean, it didn't bother me as it didn't bother me as much as it did you. And I think just Jack Nicholson, how what he did for that movie, but also for comic book movies moving forward
Yeah,
with giving it validity,
fair.
is, and he's really engaging. And maybe it's because of the fact that it's not a cartoon. Like the
Yeah,
nice thing about cartoons is you can accentuate like crazy,
yeah.
whereas in this, I mean, he's accentuating, but it is his face and his laugh. Everything is kind of there for me on this one.
It's the most character, like, it's the biggest character that Jack Nicholson probably ever put on in his career. For most
Probably.
most movies that Jack Nicholson's in, he's Jack Nicholson. Like, he's just, like, being Jack Nicholson as
Yeah.
whatever, In this movie, he's still Jack Nicholson, but it's the biggest, like, next to maybe
Yeah.
The Shining when he goes crazy near the end of the movie, but, like, this is, like, the most. But to me, Hamill, and who obviously our number 1 spot is, these are like transformative performances. These are like
Yeah.
performances where the actor disappears into the role. And I think
Yeah.
that's why there's no surprise what our number 1 spot is. And
Yep.
it's
Heath
the
Ledger.
goat, the goat.
The
Yeah. And
goat.
it's like,
Yep.
and what else is there to say that we haven't already said? Right? Like,
I
he's the
mean, this,
best.
yeah, I was so okay. This is the thing about The Dark Knight. I was actually serving a mission at the time when the movie came out.
Mhm.
So I had to wait a year
Yeah.
before I could see it. And that was all I heard was how amazing the Joker movie was. And I'm a big Batman fan. I named my son Nolan.
Yeah.
So I'm a big Batman fan.
Yeah.
And so I heard, like, the night that it was released, there were these couple kids that we were hanging out with, and they're like, "Oh, you want to go see Batman?" And he's like, "Yeah, let's go." And they went, and I was like, "Oh, you guys should go to see Batman!" Like, and if you didn't know, when you serve a mission for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, you choose not to watch movies and things like that. So I chose not to see it. I waited a year, but there was so much hype from my family too. They all wrote me letters, and they were like,
They're just
and
torturing you.
yeah,
Oh man, you got to see this movie.
they
You're like, I
did.
can't.
And Chandler told me, my brother, who's just 2 years older than me, he told me, he's like, Kramer, this is the best movie I've ever seen. He's like, I don't think I've ever seen a movie that's better. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, why are you making this worse? So I had
I'm
such a
sorry, man.
huge, I had such a huge, my expectations were huge.
And they were
And
met.
when I saw the movie, they were met and exceeded,
Yeah.
which I was like, that is amazing. I still have not seen this movie in theaters. I really need to do that. But even still, every time I see it, I am blown away by his performance, by his everything. And I love him in the movie, and I love Batman gets overshadowed in this movie, but I
Uh-huh.
still love Christian Bale and the fact of his arc in the movie,
Yeah.
which the Joker puts him through. So I can't say enough about this movie. That's all I'll say about it now. Probably gone on too long.
I felt the same way when I first saw it in 2008 in the theaters, because the hype was big. The hype for this movie was huge. When the first trailer dropped and everyone got their first look at Heath
Oh,
Ledger,
trailer was
the hype
amazing.
went through the roof. Like, people were like, "Oh my goodness!"
Yeah.
Like we could not wait for this movie to drop. And I remember being like, I can't. Like, the hype was through the roof, and we were like, literally, as I was watching the movie, I was like, "This is everything I could have hoped for and more." And it was one of those movies where it's like 2.5 hours long, and it ended, and I was like, I would have watched that for another hour.
Oh yeah.
I would have easily,
Yeah.
and it's really based on just how strong that performance is and that character is. And it's
Yep.
just, and the fact that it's the only one we'll ever get. And we know it.
Yeah.
There's no chance of a revival. There's no chance of a sequel. That's it. It's,
Leave it there.
it's such a, like, just iconic, singular moment in time. And in some ways, every actor that comes and takes on the character, probably the reason why Joaquin opted to not ever get to the kind of Joker that we're looking for is because he just felt like, I'm not going to be able to do it as good as Heath did it. So I'm not even going to try. I'm going to just take it in a different direction. I'm just going to create a different character altogether. And it might work for some people, doesn't really work for us, it sounds like, but like, you know, kudos to him for at least trying. But that's because like every actor who takes on this role, and maybe that's why Galifianakis doesn't even bother trying to do something, is because he's just like, well, what are we? Anyone who takes it on now is going to be living in the shadow of what Heath Ledger did.
Very true.
I'm excited to go see Folia do see what you know, I'm interested to see how they continue this. You know, it's a fascinating cinematic world that Phillips has created for this character. Yeah,
totally. Yeah, I'm excited to see what Lady Gaga does as well. She's a very interesting actress, and I'm interested to see what she does with Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
And hopefully he does like really. It looks like he does more. Hopefully he takes on that full mantle of the Joker and kind of gives into everything. But we'll see.
I'd like to see that. That would be great. I don't want him to. There's something about the way that Arthur Fleck moves that I'm like, you got to get a little more comfortable in your skin for me to buy you as the Joker. Because even the way Heath Ledger moves, it's like he moves awkwardly, but he looks so. He just looks like he knows who he is, and same with Jack Nicholson, and okay, we've said it, we've done it. Let us know in the comments, what is your rank? Give us your ranking. Give us your list. Give us your list. Do you agree with our list? Do you disagree? How do you feel? Have you seen Mark Hamill have you seen Cesar Romero? Have you seen all these iterations?
Yes.
And have you seen Joker Folia do? We'll probably do that movie in a separate episode.
Yeah, we will. Yeah.
Let us know. Okay. That's it.
Yeah, that's all.
Ha 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 ha
ha ha.
Is that your Joker? Do your Joker laugh. Do your best. Do your best Joker laugh.
You do it first because you're
okay. I'll do it
good.
First. Okay. All right. I'm gonna. If this is me auditioning for the Joker, they say send us in your best Joker laugh.
Oh man. Okay.
I hate this. I feel so like
do it.
So self-conscious. So self-conscious immediately.
Yeah, me too. Well, you're the actor. I'm not even an actor.
Yeah, but you know, it's like it's cringe when people try to do the Joker. You know, whenever go
ahead.
Okay, here we go. This would be my take, so that I'm not competing with Ledger's Joker. I would just go, ha 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 ha. No, it would be that. Okay, it would be what I just did. I don't know.
Nice. All right. Let's see.
What would I hated that.
You hated it so bad. All right.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's see if I could even do anything that would be remotely good. Okay. Was that okay? Oh, I got the part. Yay. Okay, good.
I think we'll see in the comments. You absolutely got the part over me. I'm not even kidding. You dominated me in that audition.
Yeah, we'll see how. Anyway,
crap. I got.
You can do it again. Go again.
Let me try to
go again. All right.
I like that you went. That's good. I need to do one of those. Yeah. I'm gonna copy you. I run out of air.
Yeah, I know. It's hard. It's hard. I liked it though. The end, you had that laugh that was a lot better.
I don't think I have a good smile because my double chin comes out, and I just
I got I had buck teeth when I was younger, so I gotta.
Yours was good. Yours was good. That was a good. That was a good laugh. That was a good laugh.
All right.
I
don't know if I could do it again, but I'll take it.
It was good. All right, let us know in the comments who got the part. Okay, we'll see you at the next one. Bye bye.
Bye bye.